Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. We are today flying the QualityWings 787-8 for Metroair, and we are at Wellington Airport in New Zealand, as we can kind of easily derive from this commercial here for Air New Zealand, and we're flying up to Auckland. It's a pretty short flight for a 787, but this one is actually part of the Metroair schedule, and I think the reason is because it's like a stopover flight. They do it basically because of the operational range. I'm not sure where they then fly from Auckland, but I'm guessing to the US or maybe to Asia. Not 100% sure, but that at least gives us an opportunity to take this nice wide-body bird out for a short haul flight. And it's been a while since I flew this one, and it is a very decent aircraft. I really like the 787 by QualityWings, so I'm happy to finally take this one out for a spin. It's hard when you have a huge library of different planes. Which one will you fly, right? It's not that easy. Here we can see some top of sky. This one seems to have spawned right on top of a static Air New Zealand aircraft. That's the only problem with the statics, right? They are in the wrong places. The only thing a bit sad with the New Zealand is that if I didn't have the top of sky ones from the Fly UK, no sorry, from the Fly UK package, then I wouldn't have basically any other airlines here. There aren't that many, right, in New Zealand. It's probably it's a tiny market, right? What's the population, like 5-6 million? So it's like Finland, right? And you don't really see that many different airlines in countries of similar size, right? So just for your information. But today we're flying Metroair. You can see the nice US flag here, 787-8 from Wellington to Auckland. So let's get started. I don't know if there's anything interesting. I really like this thing. Not sure what it was inspired. Is it Lord of the Rings related, possibly? Something like that. But that's pretty cool. And otherwise this airport, it's the one from Flightbeam. It's very nice. The Auckland one by Flightbeam is even better. So this one is really high quality. And really cool actually seeing that boat out there. Is that a MSC Sinfonia? That can't be part of the scenery, right? That must be part of the AI boat package that I have. But oh well, let's jump in and get preparing and then get flying. Hopefully this will be a smooth riding kind of flight. Oh, now I changed the viewpoint. Let's keep it this one, because then you'll be able to see when they board all the baggage and stuff. Now we can see the captain and the co-pilot. External power, I already put on the batteries. Not really sure what's going on here. I think it's starting. But where? Oh, maybe it was because we didn't have external power and now we had it when I put it on. Hopefully that's the thing. But let's see. We can put those. We can arm this one. Yeah, okay, we're hearing the noises, so that sounds good. We can put these two on. Is everything working though? I'm getting a bit, because we have all those off things and we don't see these other screens. I'm wondering, can we do a cold to dark? Okay, load panel state, cold and dark. That might be a better way to get going. So we'll start the battery. I know that this aircraft sometimes bug out a bit. let me see, actually one thing I think might fix it. I'm just gonna pause quickly. There we go. Sorry, had to, basically the thing to fix the issue is by reloading. You select one of the other 787 models. So I just took the Polish one and then, or the lot one, and then I went back to this one. And now basically it should be working, right? You can see now we get these available. So that's the way to do it. Unfortunately, you have to do it. I don't know why there's a bug with that, but you know, better get it working than not getting it working. And we can see we have the QualityWings ground service here helping us. The only thing is, of course, we'll need to request the GSX, and I'm just quickly gonna auto undock. Let me see actually if we can do it. We can do Swiss port. Yeah, okay, we can undock it, so I'll dock it after, just to make sure it's all working. But okay, we're starting it all up again. Hopefully this time it will. And it does seem to be working already. You can kind of quickly notice. If it's not, you can see it here when we do the fire test, right? That's a big giveaway. Not sure, do you want to arm those? I guess you do. Auto on. Since these are not run by bleed air, which is pretty cool, I'll put one pump on. And yeah, that should be about it. We only have the cabin chime and the seat belt. We can put on the nav lights. And look at that. So this one seems to have loaded correctly. I'll do the switch I always do. Get the big one here. Let's see if we have any. We don't seem to have the airport. That's a cool feature, right? Could be that I just didn't load it, but you should be able to have the map of the airport here. But it's not the end of the world. We have these to cover from the sun. And of course we have the HUD, full feature of the 787. Similar to what the A330-900 has. But yeah, let's get started with the boarding. That's usually the first step. We can request boarding. I'll also do pack X simultaneously. Now I just need to think so I don't put this wrong. That's the one, right? And then it's that one. I'll just do the call sign I usually use. We're going up 35,000 feet. 2 hours should be about enough. We're flying a 787-8. We should have quite a lot of passengers. I'm gonna assume 194, but we'll do a bit less. I'm gonna assume it has Wi-Fi as well and all of that, since it's a new plane. Pack X, the boarding. I never thought I would be flying Metroair here in New Zealand, but I ain't complaining. Always fun to do ops for them. Metroair. So you can start that. Passengers. Let's do 120. Let's see if we get the jetway option now. Yeah, we can do the front door, I think should be good enough. And let me just see. We want to open the front door as well. I'm going to open the cargo doors. I think we can also open the bulk cargo. Not really sure where that one is located. One of the great things with this QualityWings product is that it's really kind of well done, I would say. Just the details for being a P3D product, of course. It's not nearly as good as some of the other ones, but I really like, you know, how the engine looks, all of that stuff. It looks very, very nice. And let's see, we might not have a GSX. I'm just gonna go through the plane. I'm not sure there's too much of an inside, right? Quite basic, but it works. It doesn't seem like they have done in terms of any sort of belt loader. So I'm gonna close this one. We don't need the bulk. We can jump back to our viewpoint, tweak it a bit, something like that, and then jump back into the cockpit. The first thing we'll do is just making sure that we have the inertial position, and what we need to do now, because it usually bugs out, just restart it like that, and then we can set it. And I think that's it what you need in terms of that. Let me just quickly, oh yeah, there was the position one. Yeah, that was it. Then route, we can just write that here. So this is the only thing I don't like about the 787 is how modern it is, right, with the touch screens and stuff. Of course I would love flying it as a passenger, but it's just a well-made aircraft, right? I think Boeing really did a good job with this one. No going against that. And let's see how the 777X is gonna look like once that is released and on the market. It'll be really interesting to see how many sales and which airlines fly it. Oh, no, wait a second, now it worked. So there we go. So we have the airport. Now this is the cool one, right? So we can see the runway. We'll know it will be a short taxi. And I've taken off from this airport once before with the A300 in X-Plane 11. And then we took off, I think, from the same one, right? But then we went down to Christchurch and now we're going north to Auckland. So a tad difference. We have our flight plan, but before we proceed any further with that, I'm thinking it might be good to import our flight plan and just see how it looks in Pilot to ADC and make sure we get the same. Okay, Uploop and Dave, so that's all good. Approach is 23 left. So let's have a look at what we are. So we're flying from MRAG, so we would be best with an ILS and then with an MRAG. So we can fly directly because we are already flying from MRAG. So yeah, let's do that one. I'll activate the approach. So it should be a very smooth one. We won't do the cool. I really wanted to do the one above the water. That would be a bit reminiscent of flying like San Francisco, but this will be cool enough. And I guess this is the biggest airport in New Zealand. I guess it's probably Auckland and maybe Wellington or Christchurch and then Queenstown. Then you have a lot of these smaller ones, Timaru, Napier, etc. New Plymouth. And I have a few of those because they were available. But there's a few I haven't been able to get. I know Godstone stopped selling some, so it's like the Dunedin and Nelson. But I'm hoping they'll be available for freeware somewhere at some point soon. We have the cruise altitude correctly set, so we can just validate and connect. And I'm gonna move this before I connect so we don't have to wait for that one. We can see that they've started boarding and putting in the luggage. Indothai. What else do we have here? AHS Aviation. Iceland Air.
Current altimeter is 3053. Arriving and departing runway 34.
A bit away from
Wellington International Airport.
let me see the frequency because we don't have the
winds are 037 at 3 knots. Visibility 6 miles.
we don't have the clearance one. The interesting part is it doesn't seem to work. So we are on the wrong frequency for some reason. I'm gonna check if we can change that.
Local winds are 037 at 3 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Skies clear.
Okay, at least we have the ground. Okay, so we have changed the frequency. I'm gonna jump in. We don't need to look at this anymore. As you can see, the surroundings look pretty good with the ortho I've created for New Zealand. Not the best, not the worst. Just solid. We wanna do flight plan as the next steps. We'll do departure, taking off runway 34, Uploop 1, and then let me have a look. We're then flying to Rusil. So we have the transition one, so we can go to route to Rusil. From Rusil we're flying the I-127. Did I write that wrong? Yeah, I wrote that wrong. V was supposed to be a Y. Sorry. Y127 to Obabi.
Tigos 582, ground taxi via
Then
Charlie
Obabi, it's gonna be Q. So Queens. I'm not sure is Queens the right way to say it, but oh well. So we'll do Q277 Davy to East. And then that's the start of our arrival. We're landing at runway 23 left.
Taxi via Charlie 4, north on Bravo, hold south of Charlie 3.
And we can pick the ILS of 23 left with the Dave 6 approach, with the MRAG direct transition, and this should give us a route without any discontinuities, which it looks like it has given us. So we can activate and execute. We can also start populating this data. Reserves are at 4. Oh yeah, and actually we need to add the fuel stuff. That's awkward. Usually I don't forget that, but this time I did. Is there a way? Oh yeah, this is probably the way to do it. So let's see. 22. No, sorry, we need more. We need 23900. I guess that this was really I'm not sure, would they load up here or would they load up in Auckland? That's the big question, right? Okay, so 23900. And then our zero fuel is 310 0 0 0.
Tango November Quebec, ground taxi to holding point Alpha 2.
And that should be pretty decent, right? So if we set payload, etc. What are we at? We are a total weight of 339, and we should be at 3328. How are we so much heavier? Did I write the fuel weight wrong? Let me have a look. 23900 and zero fuel of 310.
Killing 478 Delta ground, pushback approved, tail north.
Oh no, it is correct. It's just probably going to burn enough fuel to get down. Okay, interesting. I think we're loaded up now. I'm just gonna double check. I don't want to end up in a situation where we loaded up wrongly and it looks correct. So we can go back. I'm just gonna check if that was... Okay, this is looking good. Here you can see the flight with the ACAR system. Here we have New Plymouth, Hamilton, Napier, Gisborne, Whangarei. So there are some places you can land. Palmerston North, Christchurch, right? So New Zealand has a lot to offer for being such a small country, relatively speaking. And let me jump back here. Cost index for today's flight is 46. Trust limitations and stuff, we can do that with our calculation tool, so there's no mega rush yet. You can see one of the Air New Zealand's is... let me just see if I can get a better viewpoint. It's taxiing out. And a top of sky plane has landed, it seems like. So there is some traffic here, which is cool.
677 ground, pushback approved, tail north.
I'm gonna remove the upper tab. I don't think there's anything from the interiors, but I think that's mainly with or you can see a bit through here, but that was mainly with Microsoft Flight Sim that started to become a thing, right? Having interior terminals and stuff. I don't really care, other than that it would be, of course, you know, once you have all the capacity with the CPUs and everything being good enough, then it's of course really cool. I don't think we now yet even have it in Microsoft Flight Sim that it's optimized to that extent that you should have that, but still seems like some developers go for it. And you can see the beautiful Rolls-Royce engines, right? These are really good looking actually. Okay, in terms of next steps, that's calculating our departure stuff. So I'm gonna go to the performance. We'll search for the airport first off. Wellington 34, it's a dry condition. Optimum Flaps 5. Let's actually have a look at our weather though. We'll start with the departure and landing. Let me just have a look. It's looking pretty good. Doesn't seem like there's any clouds or similar to be. Visibility is good. 9999. And on the path to our destination, do we have warnings for anything? That was a new one. What's that? Wakari. I have no clue actually. Never seen that before. Other than that, it looks pretty good. We should have a bit of tailwind. So yeah, should be fine otherwise. But let's see. Okay, but let's listen to the 80s and get this info.
at 5 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Skies clear.
5
Temperature 7.
knots.
Dew point 5.
Temperature 7.
Current altimeter is 3053. Arriving and departing runway 34.
Do we have
Wellington International Airport automated weather observation 300 local winds are 017 at 5 knots.
017
Visibility 6 miles.
at
Skies clear.
5 knots.
Temperature 7. Dew point 5. Current altimeter is 3053. Arriving and departing runway 34.
Or actually, we need to check that because I think I'm still on the US one. I need to update my call sign as well. And file the flight plan. Okay, let's jump in. Let's get the QNH.
At 5 knots. Visibility 6 miles. Skies clear. Temperature 7. Dew point 5. Current QNH is 1034. Arriving and departing runway 34.
34.
Wellington International Airport automated weather observation 300 local winds are 017 at 5 knots.
Is it really that high of a barometric? It is. Interesting. So let's put that in. We can change to the HPA 1034. The boarding seems to be done. At least GSX boarding. Let's have a look at PACX. Still boarding. We'll ask them to expedite.
We're ready to go when you are.
Oh, that was quick. You can click here and I'll close all the doors, including the cargo ones, which are already closed now. Good. Good. We are getting ready for pushback. We need to put on the APU, etc. Didn't I close the door? What's it? Oh, I thought I closed it. Okay, now it's being closed. Flight directors can go on. Let's get the takeoff weight, which was 332-800. CG though, that's a good one. Where do we get that info? Do we have it here maybe?
Silke 812, do you have information Golf?
Negative Silke 812.
Silke 812, which one did you have?
Let me see. QualityWings 787. Okay, they have a manual for this. Let me see. CG.
Subget 812, contact tower 124 decimal 9.
Where the hell do you get that one? Displays the present and this Metroair but not used in any. Becomes active only after entrance in the. But if I want to put that in, where do I get the data? Okay, maybe it doesn't matter. We'll just put 20.
Just updated the ATIS again. It's now information.
Calculate.
The only change there is wind
12 it looks fine.
12 knots, maximum crosswind 10 knots.
Okay, the selected was 63 for the temp. It's suggesting a thrust takeoff 2. So quite a derated one. Okay, very interesting. We can do derated ones. Let's see how this is gonna go. Hope we don't end up slamming or failing to take off. 131, 131, 143.
1413, ground get over by Charlie 3, Tube A. Charlie 3, Tube A, we'll see 14 moving.
I'm not really feeling safe with that CG, but okay, we'll go with it. Would be nice if we could get the input somewhere. Like what's the actual CG? Maybe we can see it in the init ref. Cruise CG 28. So what if we did 28 here instead?
Just start on a 63, hold position, just a very short delay.
Basically no difference. But I guess it will have a difference on the trim. So let's put the correct. Oh wait, did it say 19? Huh. Maybe it's 19. Okay. Let's have a look here. So maybe we can get it that way. I don't think I ever. Yeah, as you can see, it doesn't really impact anything, but it's good for getting the trim right. 0.25 won't make too much of a difference, I think, but. Oh well. Wind. Five knots. Okay, we can't put anything else. So we have these. Oh, takeoff weight. That was supposed to be a bit lower, right? Pre-flight complete. Okay. Happy days. We can also open our checklist here. And then before start is our next one. Let's talk to the ATC. Metroair 4003 Heavy. Ready to copy IFR clearance. Let's start the APU as well.
It's a 963, your pushback is approved. Tail north at 45 degrees.
Did we get any?
Pull forward to a beam bay 19 prior to start.
Metro 4003 Heavy. Ready to copy IFR clearance. Yeah, now we're getting it.
Metro 4003 Heavy is cleared to November Zulu Alpha Alpha climb via the UPLA 1 Papa departure with the Rizzle transition, then as filed. Expect departure runway tree 4. Climb to 6,000 feet via the departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Wellington International approach on 122.3. Squawk 4530.
Metro 4003 Heavy is cleared to November Zulu Alpha Alpha climb via the UPLA 1 Papa departure with the Rizzle transition, then is filed. Climb to 6,000
Passenger
feet via the
signs.
departure. Expect higher clearances 2 minutes after departure. Wellington International approach on 122.3. Squawk 4530.
And beacon on.
Metro 4003 Heavy readback correct QNH is 1034. Let us know when you're ready for pushback.
We have
QNH is
APU.
1034 Metro 4003 Heavy.
Any questions?
These ones can we put on? Same QNH was also repeated. We want to keep that interphone on. We can disconnect the external power. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks like they are gone. They were quick. You can see here, 787-8 330. So there are some bigger planes landing here. Probably for the same reason, right? They can't be too heavy when taking off from here, but they can. But they can probably do like repositioning flights, right? Normal, before, taxi, etc. That's for the next one. We wanna get going. So let's get going. We'll operate the jetway, undock, prepare pushback and departure. Metro 4003 heavy, ready for pushback.
Metro 4003 heavy pushback approved.
Pushback approved.
Pushback approved. Metro 4003 heavy.
Oh yeah, does these work? Ah, they do. Latch. Do they have any circuit breakers? Interesting. Okay, so a bit different. Didn't even think about that, looking for circuit breakers before. But I guess it makes sense. We can put on all these fuel pumps. And we are... Okay, and they are ready for pushback. There's the guy. Let's see how they push it back from here as well.
Departure checks completed.
This is a really old 2018. God, that's soon 8 years ago. That's crazy. Feels like yesterday. Everything just before Corona feels like yesterday. Oh, now we have double stack here. Fun stuff. Okay, I think we're ready. We can do a double engine start, so that's pretty cool.
Locking gear.
Let me just see if there's any recircling fans. We want to do nose right. Let's actually ask for taxi. We can get that. Or maybe we'll do the pushback first.
Release parking brakes, please. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Holding point Bravo 2.
Charlie 4, holding point Bravo 2. Just
Start at will. We'll start the left engine first. Make sure the values are increasing. Or the right engine first, actually, not the left one. Now we'll start the left one. Double tap both engines at the same time. And look at these Rolls-Royce engines. Looking very nice. It's actually a very nice aircraft, this one. The exterior textures are really good for P3D.
Yes, I know, 63, you're number 1.
Demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. Whether you are here for business or leisure, we certainly hope
Let me
you have a
raise the
very pleasant
volumes a
flight.
bit. Okay, and let's see if they can place us nicely. Let's add a bit of speed on this one. Before taxi checklist, anti-ice, no need. Recall, auto brake, flight controls. Let me see if we can get checklist, systems, flight controls, elevators, ailerons, rudder. Okay, it is working, but maybe not when we're being pushed back. That could be the... And how are they? Okay, I'm gonna ask them to stop here because we're gonna get some really weird. Oh. Yeah, we have a lot of trust in these. God damn, this plane just wants to not stop. Okay, parking brakes. Okay, let's see if this can hold. For some reason it's disconnecting the parking brake, that's odd. I am gonna confirm good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
That was a bit odd. The parking brake wouldn't stick, right? It just... Probably something with the GSX combined with this sometimes doesn't work that well. Metro 4003 Heavy, ready to taxi.
Metro 4003 Heavy taxi to runway tree 4.
Taxi to runway
that wasn't
Metro 4003
too much info.
Heavy.
I guess we'll try to turn here and
Metro
just go all the way down.
4003 Heavy contact Wellington Ground Tower on 118.8.
We can arm those. LNAV, VNAV,
Metro 4003 Heavy.
checklist. I don't even wanna... Or let's see, maybe we can check quickly now. Yeah, now the rudder seems to be working, but it does disconnect the parking brake, so that's no good. Okay, bye-bye to that guy. Ah, it disconnected again. I must have some sort of weird... Okay, ground equipment clear before takeoff. That's the flaps. Let's go to flaps 5. Okay, please release parking brakes. Please set parking brakes. I don't know why GSX is acting all weird. Okay, let's see. Can we make this turn? Oh, will be a bit tight. A bit weird placement with some of these signs. But oh well, oh well. We made the turn. Taxi lights, runway turn off. Taxi lights. Then we just need to do strobe and the landing lights. And look at that, we have a plane coming in for landing and it looks to be a... What is that, Air New Zealand, right? That must be 100% that's an Air New Zealand. Oh, and we don't wanna visit the grass. God damn. Wasn't even prepared for that. Usually it wants to take me too much to the left. Yeah, definitely an Air New Zealand one. That should be out of the way once we are ready to take off. 3-4. Let's get the heading set to
before takeoff checklist.
3-4-ish. It's probably not exactly that, but close enough. I did forget to do the chart though, I just realized. But it's a bit messy on how to do it for this airplane, so I'm not gonna feel too bad about that. I don't really like to check it up through the EFB on this one. It's easier just to check it through ChartFox. 2-3 left, right? That was the one we're landing on. And their New Zealand one is... Oh, and we also have a top of sky that's getting ready to take off. We can put the lights, just getting everything ready. We're ready before takeoff, so we have the after takeoff one. That will be the next step. This is the toga button, if I'm not mistaken. The autopilot are these two. So they're a bit different compared to previous Boeings, which makes it a bit cool, the 787. We want to use everything we can from in terms of the runway. And we got tower handover. Metro 4003 Heavy, ready for takeoff. Did we get anything through? Let's see. Metro 4003 Heavy, ready for takeoff.
Metro 4003 heavy winds are 017 at 5 knots. Runway
do
tree 4 cleared for
TFC,
takeoff,
we'll do
squawk
terrain on that.
4530.
Weather radar on the
Runway tree 4 cleared
other
for takeoff,
one.
squawking 4530 Metro 4003 heavy.
Metro 4003 heavy winds are 017 at 5
Let's
knots.
zoom in a bit.
Runway tree 4 cleared for takeoff, squawk 4530.
Zoom out a bit on the other one.
Runway tree 4 cleared for takeoff, squawking 4530 Metro 4003 heavy.
Okay. Let's see, this is gonna be very interesting. We're gonna go out on the runway and then we're gonna stop. Runway is verified. That's good. Let's stop. We need as much runway as possible. Oh, interesting, it's showing up here. 'Cause that's how it's supposed to be? Or maybe it's because I'm not... Yeah, exactly, I'm in the wrong... I was too close. Can we go down one bit? Yeah, that should be good enough. Okay, runway verified. We wanna go to legs page, and do we have to put anything on down here? Don't think so. TFC, etc. Data are similar. Don't think so. But how do you get the data? Here, maybe menu. So we want to put the data on. Maybe it doesn't work. Okay, we have this VSD that we can use in case we want to, but let's leave as is. Okay, we are ready to take off. Everything is set up somewhat correctly. We'll start pushing the throttles up. Yeah, looking good. Takeoff thrust set. Let's see how this goes. Thrust set. I really hope we make this.
80 knots. Check.
This doesn't feel too good.
CG941 cancel star, continue current heading, descend to 7,000. Present heading 260 after descent 7,000, CG941.
Rotate. And let's get this bird in the air. Ah, we made it. Woo, just in time.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Okay, gears coming up. Let's get the other checklist on. Yeah, looking good. Looking really nice. Let's change the viewpoint. It's quite a nice view here. You can go to flap 0. I'll change this to weather radar. We can do terrain on the other one. I think we should be clear.
003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 130, contact Wellington International approach on 122.3.
We can turn these
Climb and
lights
maintain
off.
Flight level 130 approach on 122.3 Metro 4003 heavy.
And it's very nice to fly manually, this one actually.
Approach Metro 4003 heavy, climbing to flight level 130.
I think we have some of these extra effects due to me having the immersion manager connected. So that one should give us some extra cool effects. Still looking good. Let's change to that viewpoint. Get a bit of variety. Yeah, looking really nice actually. We can go to standard. Standard on that one as well. Okay, that makes sense.
Metro 4003 heavy contact New Zealand Centre on 119.2.
119.2.
Metro 4003 heavy.
What else? What about range from here?
Center Metro 4003 heavy, climbing
Okay,
to flight level
240. nautical miles. So it should be relatively quick.
Heavy, good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Good morning. Descending to flight level 190. Foxtrot Oscar Lima, g'day. Descend to 9,000 feet. The Sydney QNH 1022.
Okay, still going pretty nicely. Around 10,000 feet will change to the autopilot. I think that should be sufficient. Flight level 130 was the one we were supposed to climb to.
Morning, quarter 750, flight level 390. Quarter 750, sending g'day, track direct to Rivet. When ready, descend to flight level 250. Direct Rivet, when ready, descend flight level 250, quarter 750.
Okay, let's turn here. Yeah, seeing the beautiful northern island of New Zealand. Sorry, Northern Iceland. Did I say Northern Ireland? Sound like that. Northern Iceland of New Zealand. Yeah, though I guess makes sense to think of the Northern Iceland as Northern Ireland, because there is actually a Northern Ireland and a Ireland. Okay, let's see. We are soon at 10,000. We're flying quite slow because of the low engine limitations, or I guess high engine limitations. I guess turn these off. Same with the seatbelt sign. It's pretty good weather, so that's nice. And now it's basically just straight flying. We're gonna pass 10,000 feet. So let's put on the autopilot. And let's see, do we get any higher clearances? What are we at? 10,000. Oh, it wants us to speed up, that's why we're flying a bit slower.
Metro 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 130.
But yeah, she's a beauty. I like the 787-8 because it's a bit shorter. The 9 is maybe more proportionate, but this one is just pretty good looking. Pretty damn good looking. I'll just make a flyby, drone flyby. If you could do that, I guess the risk would be pretty high, being sucked into the engine. Okay, we haven't really climbed. Let's see. Speed is still being increased. Goes so slow. We should have put higher. But I guess we want to keep it a bit limited. That will make our engine last longer. And let's see if we're now starting to climb. And let's see if we start climbing.
Metro
there we go.
4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 130.
Climb and maintain flight level 130 Metro
130.
heavy.
We have about 40 minutes to go, but we haven't gotten that far, right?
Metro 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 200.
Oh yeah, we could have used the HUD.
Climb and maintain flight level 200 Metro 4003 heavy.
But I still don't know how to interpret the data. That's my biggest kind of problem. I mean, like, I kind of get it, but then I lose track of how to do it once I'm up flying. Okay, seeing a bit of variety in the weather here. Did I get a good thumbnail, or do I need to get one? I got a pretty good one. Okay, so we are climbing, maintain 210. So you can put that in. Our speed should slowly be increasing. We now only have 37 minutes to our arrival airport of Auckland.
Metro 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 200.
Climb and maintain flight level 200 Metro 4003 heavy.
Interesting how you have to compensate certain things. This is the first time actually I think put this down. I have done it a bit in one of my earlier videos, but I can't remember on top of my head. But that's pretty cool. I guess good information to have. Let's force this one to climb. So we want to get to our destination quick enough. I'm actually gonna put this to the 35 because that's what we're gonna be climbing anyway. Auto brake 2 for the landing. I think we should be fine. So it's just populating like the same as it's always. Let me have the index, approach. Yeah, exactly. Let's just put that in. It's gonna be fine. Shouldn't be any bad weather either, so it's all gonna be good. Okay, 90 nautical miles until top of climb. Or top of descent. Top of climb should come a bit sooner, but let's see. Oh yeah, we can close that, so they deny access. Is there anything else here that's a cool feature? It's a very roomy cabin though. That's for sure. Much more modern looking. It really looks like, you know, the new age of planes. I do wonder though, do they have the inbuilt EFB? I want to have a look actually at that, or do they do separate one? Let's have a look. Okay, looks like they are using the these ones have separate ones, built-in ones.
Metro 4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 270.
Oh, no, we don't wanna...
Climb and maintain flight level 270 Metro 4003 heavy.
These are using the built-in one. Okay. Interesting. Okay, we're continuing to climb. We can't open any doors, there's no cabin to see. We do have this thing. These seems to be... this one works. That's cool. But yeah, that's about it back here. We have some stowage, but don't think you can open these. I don't think it really matters. Do you have any exit? Yeah, here we have maintenance, emergency, access. And here's the one, pull emergency exit. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's get back. Okay, we are really climbing. It's going quite quickly. Now it's only 30 minutes left. Let's see. Hasn't increased that much though, the speed yet. Let me see, what do I have open? Nothing to see there. Let me see, it's been the NHL games, some really good ones. Dallas, Colorado, but that's about the only interesting. Let's see the news, if there's anything aviation related. Nothing really interesting. Apparently someone tried to bomb a Lady Gaga concert. That's jolly. Seems a bit unnecessary. And anything else? Nope, nope, nope. Not too much actually. Let's change our view. Oh, looks pretty cool. We have a nice
Metro
one.
4003 heavy climb and maintain flight level 350.
I can keep this one.
Climb and maintain flight level 350.
350.
Metro 4003 heavy.
We are climbing. Now it's only 25 minutes left. And I guess this one is like the Pilot JDC one is like probably pretty dumbly counted. So basically it will only count based on, you know, it won't count on predicted speeds. Because I usually find that it, you know, it decreases, but then once you get to the approach, it kind of sticks on the same time. So it's not the smartest tool in that regard. And we're coming in over land again. It's getting a bit flatter here. It's not really the same kind of beautiful mountain ranges as if you're flying around Christchurch and Queenstown, and even Wellington for that matter. In terms of weather radar, do we have any indication on that, how that's looking? And where is the weather radar controlled actually? Is there like a specific... Or maybe it's all automatic. Odd. But I've seen stranger things. Okay, let's have a look at Auckland. So, 2-3 left. That's 109.9. Park. Pre-select. Can we put that in? Okay, I'm a bit worried now. Do we have 101? What's the problem? I didn't put in the course. Okay, we can put that in. At least we have it. In terms of our minimums, it's 124, so quite low. We can do Barrow. Let me see, 120, I guess we'll do that, or maybe 130. Maybe better to have a bit of. We don't want to go lower than the minimums, right? The missed approach is 185 knots to Porek, so basically straight. Well, not quite straight, 231 degrees, and then turn right, track 261 degrees to Ingenis. Let's see if we have that here. We do not, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Or does it? That's the question. So that's a Lengo. I wonder what that must be another point a bit further ahead. I do wonder if Pilot JDC has Lengo or if it has. It doesn't seem to have any input on that. Okay, 21 minutes left to go for the descent. Let's keep the weather radar. And we can keep this, you can see all the waypoints. I'll zoom in a bit. But yeah, lovely looking landscape. Look at that one. That's a cool mountain. So maybe there are a few of these large ones. Do we have any other? I'm gonna guess that's a volcano. A lone mountain like that. The Lonely Mountain. Let me see where the Hobbit was filmed. Okay, I've filmed a bit everywhere, similar to Lord of the Rings, the original trilogy. I was just trying to figure out what this one is. Where are we now? We are... Oh, so this one maybe wasn't used at all. It's a very cool place though, kind of alone. The Lonely Mountain. Okay, we're soon gonna be descending. Let's see if we have gotten any descent clearances or similar. Nothing yet. We'll get it very shortly, I think. Well, let's wait and see. And the top of descent is a bit after Bobby.
Metro 4003 Heavy, expect the Dave 6 Alpha arrival with the Davy transition for the ILS approach to runway 23 left at Auckland International Airport. Descend to cross Davy at or above 12,300 feet, then descend via the Dave 6 Alpha arrival with the Davy transition to cross MRAG at or above 4,000 feet. QNH is 1032
yeah,
at Auckland.
We got all the info we need. So this should be a very easy flight.
Expect the Dave 6 Alpha arrival with the Davy transition for the ILS approach to runway 23 left. Will cross Davy at or above 12,300 feet, then descend via the Dave 6 Alpha arrival with the Davy transition to cross MRAG at
Hey,
or
we
above
can do auto break
12,000
3.
feet.
Better save the story.
1032 Metro 4003 Heavy.
Anything else to keep in mind? Don't think so. Actually, yeah, the ortho for New Zealand was pretty good. It's the Bing one. And it doesn't seem like there's any kind of clouds stuck on it. So yeah, it's pretty decent. That's good to see. Okay, we still have some ways to go. We have readied the VNAV. Let's have a look here. Recall, check, notes, auto, yes, approach briefing. So the question is then the altimeters. Let's have a look at what the transition altitude is. The transition altitude is as much as... doesn't really say actually. Let's do 5,000 feet. That should be sufficient. Do you have any nice view points? No, nothing. Or view spots. We'll soon be descending. How long do we have left? Okay, 100 nautical miles, give or take. 139. And what's the time according to... It's saying that we have 16 minutes to go. Okay, seems reasonable. Good. Should all be going smoothly. We're soon reaching our top of descent, and then we should be following the vertical track downwards. Yeah, not the most interesting weather, a bit of cumulus, clouds, a bit of a mix, some other ones. I really like the QualityWings manual. I'm not sure if this is the latest version. I just found it online. I know you also get it, but it's a very kind of clear with pictures and stuff. So I'm a big fan of that. It is helpful, in other words.
level 330, velocity 841.
Okay, let's see. Not much we can do, we can just wait now.
Qantas 430 report speed.
Qantas 430, 300 knots.
Okay, Qantas 430, yeah, your normal might be a little bit fast. I'll get you to come back to 280 now, please.
Let's check Simply Flying. Just news about new routes.
Sorry, 280 above 10.
280 above 10, Qantas 430.
Simply Flying.
Kiwi 013, leaving flight level 380.
There's some new code share, IAG, code share with Iberia.
Kiwi 813, descend to flight level 110.
Descend flight level 110, Kiwi 813.
But yeah, we're not that many. Just Qantas is discounting certain routes. Yeah, no new orders. Here's a big order. Airbus, Boeing, Embraer share 77 aircraft order from ANA. Because what's ANA ordering? They're ordering 27 Airbus A321neo, 12 Boeing 737 MAX 8, 20 Embraer E90E2 aircraft. So that's cool. That's actually really good for the Embraer. So let's have a look. Embraer E2, because they're basically selling none of their 175s, right? Oh, but it's not popping up here on the order log, so I guess it hasn't been registered, at least not on the Wikipedia page. How many have been built? 155. Okay, it's not that many. Okay, and we are descending now in line with the vertical profiles. That's good to see. We can keep this view for the exterior. Looking pretty good. Also from the co-pilot seat. Feels so weird being in this seat. I'm so used to flying on the other seat. Also from the perspective that when I drive my car, I'm sitting in this seat. So yeah, it's just more, feels more relatable. Okay, let's have a look now. What's it saying? 13 minutes. 95 nautical miles, so still ways to go. But that wasn't a lot of news in Simply Flying. I thought there would be. Oh, Spirit Aerosystem is laying off some people 3 hours ago. Oh yeah, because Boeing is acquiring Spirit Aerosystems. That makes sense. Airplane new, let's see. What's this one? Aviation, international news. What do they have? De-icing of mission led to Embraer Ferm 300 crash in Utah. Okay. So, that makes sense, I guess. It's important to de-ice. But yeah, not really that much else to. So no interesting news as of now. How many deliveries of the 787 has though been done? 1,174. The 787 must be considered a huge success, right? What did it replace? It replaced basically smaller 777s and I guess the 767 to a regard. Or I guess technically the 767 was still being built, so maybe it wasn't really a replacement for that. So it was slowing sales of 767, 747. It was built for a long time, the 747-400, end of 80s till 2009 with the freighter version. It's quite a while. 700, that's pretty good amount of the 747-400 being built. The 767 had 1,326 built, so I mean the 787 is definitely gonna overtake the 787. The question is though, how many orders have they? Orders and deliveries. So they have total orders of 2,000. God damn. Unfulfilled 836. I guess the only thing that's maybe a bit problematic is that at one point Boeing had the 777 being produced, the 767, the 747, etc. And now they basically only have the last 767 orders and the 787. Hopefully they'll soon have the 777X. But let's see. I guess the 787 mainly competes with the A350 and the A330neo. And they had a lot of problems with the 787, right? With the fuselage, etc. Wasn't too easy to go with all these new fancy things incorporating that. But I mean the 787 has done a much better job than the A330neo. I mean it's only been built 155 of the A330neo, which is quite, I mean it's of course it was a much cheaper program, so you can just see it as an extension of the A330 program, but still it's not that many. But they still have around 200 of them to build, 230 of the A330s, so okay, those will come up. And what about the A350? This is the interesting one. So that one has orders of 1,400. Already delivered 651 with a backlog of 730. So if you consider backlog, then it's quite equal between the 787 and the A330 and the A350. The question is, what does this 777X have in terms of orders? It probably has a lot. 521. That's a pretty good number. Okay, so right now that's like 1,400 for Boeing in terms of orders, while Airbus has around 800 something. So okay, Boeing is still winning the wide-body game. Unless I'm missing an aircraft, what would I miss? I think that's it. I mean, they're building the freighter of the 767, but not so interesting. Okay, let's see now. We are starting to come down. I think we can remove this vertical profile thing. It looks like I just wanted to check if we were following it correctly. we're soon at 10,000 feet, so we can just help ourselves a bit to put on the landing lights already. I'll also put the seatbelt signs on. Have a look if that has an effect on Pack X. It does. They're very satisfied, our passengers, thus far. An FMC message, unable to maintain. Okay, that's not a good sign. But let's see. Let's stay positive. The QNH was 1032. But I am wondering if that's at the airport or not. We should probably ask. Metro 4003 heavy, say altimeter.
Metro 4003
1032.
QNH is 1032.
QNH is 1032 Metro 4003 heavy.
Okay. Anything else? We have the en route map. So this one is pretty good to use. Oh, you can zoom in like this. We can see kind of the waypoints. So yeah, we're coming in slowly and steadily. Do you have any night mode? Hell, that was almost easier to see it this way. Hide cities. Show grid. Landmarks. Oh, guess there is not that many landmarks. Okay, we're starting to get down. Looking really good. Let's push it a bit forward. Can we at all see the fuselage? Yeah, there we can see a bit of it. Yeah, looks like a very nice day. Nice clouds. That's generally a nice weather type of day. Okay, we're now at 10,000 feet at Sorbo. We want to be a bit above 6,000, so we're a bit behind actually. Thinking about that, I am gonna go to slats. I'm gonna deploy the slats. That should hopefully help us a bit with our descent.
Approach checklist.
Altimeters we know, and I'm just gonna change that already because I'm not sure of the transition altitude. Normal, we'll have speed brake, we can arm that. Then landing gear and then flaps. In order to avoid any mistakes, we'll do the runway turn-off lights and the taxi, so we don't forget those. And it looks like the ortho has done really well here, actually finding some of these small minor details, a bit of houses here and there, so that's really nice to see actually. Okay, and we're coming down. We're below 10,000, that's a good sign. We want to be at 6,000, above 6,000. Let's see how high slash low we are at this next waypoint, the Zorba. But can't you see anything more in terms of the data?
Metro 4003 heavy contact Auckland approach on 120.1.
Maybe that's it.
Approach on 120.1 Metro 4003 heavy.
And I guess this shows a bit where we're at in relation to RMP, etc. Or I guess it's some sort of deviation indicator.
Descending via the Dave 6A arrival with the Davy transition to 4,000 feet.
Okay, we're still descending.
Metro
4,000 feet.
4003 heavy, good morning. Continue descent via the Dave 6 Alpha arrival with the Davy transition.
Okay, we can continue our descent to 2,600.
With the Davy transition Metro 4003 heavy.
Minimum's at 130. Okay, so we have enough. Should be fine. And now we're starting to see the city of Auckland. And the airport, which is there. That's the airport. I've loaded up here, it looks pretty good. There's some areas that are without autogen. I think the order wasn't really working as it should. I tried to see if if there's any Auckland city for P3D, but there's doesn't seem to be any. It's basically only the airport.
500, cleared ILS runway 19 approach.
2500, cleared ILS runway 19 approach, QLink 349.
But yeah, nothing for Auckland, unfortunately. To buy or something to make it look even nicer. But I think it's very kind of upgraded already with the airport itself. It kind of upgrades the whole city, which makes it look pretty nice. Okay, we should be above 4,000 our next one. Let's see if we can go flaps 5 without an issue. Seems like we can, so that should help us descend a bit quicker. We're doing 800 feet per minute, 700, let's see. 800 now. 900. 1,000. 900. Okay, so seems okay. Will be a bit of a crosswind, I think. So let's just be prepared for that. But other than that, it should be good. One thing I'll give this aircraft as well, it's really good on the FPS. I really don't have any bigger issues. I don't know about VRAM. Let's have a look at what my VRAM is. 5.4, so not that bad on VRAM either. So it's a very well optimized aircraft in that regard. Wasn't so good in FSX though, to be honest, but that was the VAS issues, the virtual memory allocation thing.
QNH is 1032 descend and maintain 3,000 feet, cleared direct MRAG, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 23 left at Auckland International Airport.
QNH is 1032 descend and maintain 3,000 feet, cleared direct MRAG, then cleared for the ILS approach to runway 23 left at Auckland International.
Wait, they are connected. Sorry, I forgot that. 1032. It's just because they are in the wrong. Now we have them in the right setting. Okay, landing gear and flaps are going to be important parts. We'll do a flap full landing. We have the auto brake on 3. Just because I haven't flown into this airport, let's try to stop as fast as possible. You can see a bit of a difference here in the photo reel. So I guess this is the one with the airport scenery, and this is the one I've created myself, which you can see a bit on the blurriness once we get close down. It's really here around 5,000 feet you start seeing the blurriness. So if you want to have a bit better, I would suggest going with zoom level 15, and then I think it should be a bit better down to like 3,000, then it also becomes a bit blurry. But I mainly want the photo reel for the up high flying.
QNH is 1032 at Auckland International Airport. Contact Auckland Tower on 118.7.
Okay, we're still descending, albeit slowly. Can we go to flaps 10 already? Flip 15 is it? Okay, 15. And there's another airport actually, but no, probably like just a local general aviation or similar. Okay, let's see. So we're now below 4,000 feet, and we're going down to 2,500. And there's the runway, so we should be turning to the left now, and slow down simultaneously. And let's just get on the final, and then we'll press the approach mode. Hopefully all should go well from that moment onwards, but let's see. It's a very nice day, so we can basically do this. We could basically do a visual approach, to be honest. But oh well. And let's see. We are a bit to the right, so I'm guessing it's that runway. It's the 23 left one. I guess there's a right one right next to it. So that's just good to be aware of. I'll put on the approach mode. So now we have the localizer, the glide slope. I'm gonna shut the throttles. Yeah, caution, that's fine. We wanna have them disconnected. Okay, and we are on the glide slope, so that's good to see. let's start dropping the landing gear. And I guess that's kind of the center of Auckland, so it's quite far away, I guess, the airport. Not sure though if it is. I guess it depends on, you know, what type of roads is in between. Okay, we'll drop the landing gear. Can hear the sounds of the gear coming down. We can go to flaps 20. Speed brake is armed. So it's only the flaps now, we need to get to the right setting. Gonna add a bit of thrust. Go to flap 25. I'm gonna take control. We'll cancel. We'll go flaps full. I guess we could use this. I'm too unused to that. Need to learn at some point, but today is not the day.
Landing checklist.
Okay, landing checklist. And that's normal, so that's good. It's looking pretty good. We have flaps full. Gonna add a bit more thrust. Just a tiny bit. We wanna descend actually a bit so we can actually remove a bit of thrust. We're seeing some nice wind or what do we call it? Wing effects maybe. Let's do that side. Seems like we have an aircraft on the runway. Hopefully it's taking off in time. But let's see. Okay, it looks like it's taking off. I hope at least. Really don't want to have to do a go around. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay, I'm gonna add a bit of thrust. We're a bit high. But oh well. It looks pretty good here with how the buildings and stuff, so that's nice to see. I think actually there was someone who had noticed that Orbix buildings, the HD one, wasn't really working correctly. So I think they have updated that, and now I think most of my buildings look much better. So I think that guy really made my sim look even better. I'm just noticing it generally when I'm flying, you know, there's more variety and stuff. Okay, we're a bit too high. Let's slow down.
400.
300. It's okay to be a bit higher since we're a bigger plane. Continue.
100. 50. 40.
372, wind 060 degrees, 11 knots, runway 01 right, clear to land.
01 right, clear land, 372.
Okay, very late, but that's fine. At least it's a smooth landing. Okay, we're gonna stop really quickly here. So I'm gonna disarm those. And remove all the other stuff. Okay, a bit to the left. But otherwise pretty good. Let's go to the normal view. The spot view. We'll take a right here.
And it's currently about 9 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin, as items may have shifted during the flight.
We should have stopped there, I guess. Or maybe here. Did we get the landing clearance? Because I forgot to ask for that. Metro 4003. Ready to taxi. Oh wait, we can do it this way. Metro 4003 heavy, established on final. That's that work?
Velocity 375, connect departure.
It seems to have bugged out because I never got the landing clearance call. So we're just gonna close pilot ADC, doesn't really matter. Let's get to our parking. I'm gonna put on the AP. I didn't even shut the APU. Okay, but it was a short flight, so it doesn't really matter, right? Well, that was a bit embarrassing. But at least we don't have to start it, so we'll save ourselves some time. And here we are, and we can see some of the top of sky 787s, some 777s by Air New Zealand. So you can see here are the wide bodies. So there's not really that many airports that can handle them in New Zealand. Queenstown is definitely one that can't handle them, even though it's one of the bigger airports. So we'll just park here, and we're actually gonna shut the landing lights and the strobe lights, I think. I will just park here on the first one that we can see kind of directly here. I think that should be a large or a heavy parking, right? Just based on the other planes that are here. God, I really want to do a 777 flight now. I've been seeing so many of them, and I'm just not sure if I want to do flight factor or if I want to do PMDG. The problem is also routes. Finding like a nice one. And specifically you don't want to do the freighter ops. The freighter ops gives you a lot of advantages in the terms that they are usually short haul routes. Or not always, but quite often. Okay, let's see if we can get on the... that should be good enough. Let's put the parking brakes. And as you can see, it's a pretty nice airport. Maybe not as interesting though as Wellington. But it does have, I think, some... Oh, it didn't have anything. Very well done. It does look like it has an interior, even though it doesn't. And that's a cool aircraft, the Star Alliance, the full black livery. But yeah, other than that, it's basically Air New Zealand, top of sky, and... yeah, hell, not even anyone from Australia. That's a bit interesting. But yeah, we are here at the gate. We'll shut the engines. Let's just check that we have APU gen. Yeah, we do. Seatbelt sign. We can open a door. That's just to get the Pack X. Let's have a look at smart cars. Okay, so a 148 landing. So that was good. Pretty good landing. Let's see if Pack X is aboard with that. Yeah, deboarding and flight 147. Pretty nice. Let's close the window, let's have a look at the replay, and then let's wrap up for today. Instant replay. 260 was maybe a bit too little. 360 should be a bit better. But yeah, here you can see what I mean. Some autogen is missing. I don't know why. I've been trying to figure this one out. It could be... it actually could be if there is double photo reel. That could be the issue. So I should maybe but the problem is like if you remove this one, you'll get the ugly photo reel closer by. So it's a bit of a mix. But sometimes that's the only fix. I've even tried to put the AGN files between the different ones, but I couldn't get them loading up anyway. Which I guess isn't that weird though. Maybe I have an idea actually how I can solve it. I think at least, but let's see. Because I hate that. I hate when you don't have the autogen showing up. Because you want it to look a bit like this. This looks pretty nice. This is like... this is actually really nice. In terms of the approach, we were a bit high. So I wasn't really too happy with it. We weren't like crazy off. But you notice it in terms of how late we get down. Should have crabbed a bit, I think. I did float here at the end. That was way too... oh, well, that's cool. Okay, yeah, the replay, everything kind of works. That's really nice. Well done, QualityWings. Not often you see them working in the replay. So yeah, pretty nice, short and sweet. If you have any questions or any suggestions for next or routes, as I said, I won't maybe not fly them, but I have a tracker on them. I now have two, one from Caden to Cord and one from Madeira to Lanzarote. So I'll probably do them at some point, but let's see. The shorter the route, usually the higher the likelihood I'll be doing that route. But yeah, until next time, thank you for watching and bye bye.